Okay, now we should be live on Facebook. Hello guys, welcome. How are you all doing today? Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and okay. So we're gonna go ahead and start this training. This at least the trainings that I usually work with, I would like them to be more hands-on. So feel free to ask any questions as we go along. I'm gonna show you basically this training is how to use social media ads. I know the name is how to use paid ads for, but specifically we're gonna be working with Facebook ads and with Google ads, okay? Make sure we're recording here. Perfect. Okay, now we're recording and we should be live on Facebook. So we're gonna go ahead and start the presentation. Okay, so first off, this should be a follow-up on the training sessions that we've been doing on how to use social media for your small business, which is the first part of the training, which consists of, what type of social media is best for my business, how to use Facebook or Instagram, or what social media do I use that's going to be best for my business, etc., and how to create posts, how to schedule content, and all that. So this training is the next step, which is assuming that you already learned how to do that. If not, we can always go back and we can share you the other trainings as well, and also the website training that we did last week. Okay, those are all actually also on demand, and you can find that in our events. And if you have any other questions, you could go ahead and feel free to message me, and we can send you those as well. Perfect. So we're going to go ahead and start with the social media ads training and how to create a process. So first off, I would like to share with you the importance of marketing. As we all know, you can't sell anything if you can't tell anything if you can't tell your story. So first off, the first step that you should know about any type of marketing with social media, any type of digital strategy is that it is very important for you to have a marketing plan already in play. So think of what your business value proposition is. What does it stand for? What makes you different from your competitors? What is really that selling point of your business before you even start thinking about, going into the whole social media and the digital marketing world. Okay. We also have the quick checklist that I like to apply with businesses when before deciding to invest in using this type of paid advertising, which is, for an existing business, for you to go online and have that online presence, it's best to have a professional logo or at least a corporate image, which means that whenever you display yourself on any type of social media platform, your business has an essence. It has a branding. That's what corporate branding is. That's what your brand is going to be looking like. If you think of examples such as Pepsi or Coca-Cola, if you think of Walmart, Amazon, Google, they all have that specific image. They have that logo. They have that type of branding that repeats itself, and that you can identify if you see something on the street. If you see it on a certain website, okay, I know that's from Amazon. I know that business is trying to reach out to me. Okay. The next is you have somebody who works the website and the social media networks. It's actually very important because once you start making ads, once you start creating content and working your website and networks, it really does take time. So I always recommend, as a business owner, have somebody who's going to specifically work that website and works that networks. You can always train them on knowing them how to use these networks. If not, try to get somebody who does have knowledge in doing this, because it's the best way to handle the investment that you're going to be making. Okay. The next is that you have time to be dedicating and be constant in this. When you make an ad and when you start going into social media and everything, you have to dedicate a lot of time to it. Like I said, it's just not that, okay, I did it once and I can't follow up. That's not how it works. Unfortunately, if you do that, you're not going to have any type of return over the investment that you made. If you spent $100 on an ad or $20 on an ad, if you didn't follow up on it, it has no point because it just, you just spent $20. Okay. The next, the business doesn't have serious customer service problems. If, as of right now, the business is having issues with never answering the phone, not answering direct messages, not answering any type of Facebook messages or emails. I'm not saying it has to be immediately, but if you don't have that in order, once you start exposing yourself on social media, it's going to be a lot harder to control. And it's always best to have that good customer service because that's what at the end of the day going to attract your clients. Okay. And finally, that the business has an internal process in order, which means everything else in your business has to be in order. The marketing, the accounting, all the processes, the logistics. Why? Because think of social media as another channel. Think of it as another storefront. Let's say this is going to be your second store and on the online world. So if you don't have a handle on the first store, the second store is going to be even harder for you to handle. Okay. So that's just something to take into consideration when you're starting this whole ad strategies. Okay, I'm going to briefly explain the introduction to social media before we get into the actual part where I'm going to teach you step by step on how to create an ad from the image to the size to everything. I'm going to show you the entire process on how to make an ad from scratch. And the best part I'm going to share to you some free tools where you can learn to make them. And I'm going to include some of the links at the end of the presentation. The presentation is really going to be the short part because I want it to be as much hands-on as possible. And like I said, for you guys to ask as many questions as possible. Okay, so I'm just going to go through this part really quickly. A little bit of the digital panorama that we're seeing. 3.4 billion people use social media. 90% of brands use social media to increase brand awareness. And the average user manages 7 social media accounts. Okay, so the average user manages up to 7 social media accounts. And as you can see, everybody is now digital nowadays. So a lot of people asking me, okay, what's the difference between using the social media and, paid for local media? This depends always on who is your target market. Okay, if your target market and if your business is maybe not on social media, then local media is a perfect option for you. As well as it depends on, it's just two different channels. You can always use local media and do traditional marketing. It depends on the marketing plan of your business and the goals of your business, who your clients are and where you're trying to reach them. If they read the newspaper every day, perfect, then launch ads and everything in the newspaper so you can reach them. If you know that they're always on their phones, if you know that they're always on websites, then you can go ahead and reach them through this way, or you can even do both. Like I said, it depends on how efficient you want to be your campaigns. Okay, there's just a little bit of information on how many people are on social media, a little bit of the behaviors. For example, 97% of people have visited or used a network and messaging service in the past month, and this is from last year's report. And now we know the entire crisis right now is affecting this, and there's going to be even more and more people on social media because that's the only place that they can resort to, and a lot more people we're seeing and adapting to the trends that they're buying things online, they're switching to e-commerce, which is why it's best for businesses to start taking up on these trends. And even after this entire pandemic is over, hopefully soon, even after that pandemic is over, you're going to start seeing new trends where people are going to prefer ordering stuff on an app on their phone. They're going to prefer having delivery. They're going to prefer buying stuff from the comfort of their homes. It's just going to be a new trend. It's something that's not going to go away anytime soon. So it's best for business owners to start adapting to that right now. This is just a little bit of the advertising audiences from last year. Right now, they're much higher. Total advertising audience on Facebook. So that's 210 million people in total. on Instagram, on Twitter, Snapchat, etc. We've also seen a huge increase in LinkedIn. Okay. And like I said, this is part of the training of which is how to use social media for your small business and what do I post online. It should always be this 80-20 rule or 70-30, however you want to see it. Informative content that would add value to your clients, and the other 20% of self-promotion, which is the part that we're going to handle here. The self-promotion could always be advertising the products and services, the customer experience, or special promotions, etc. Okay, so this is assuming for you to create an ad or create anything, you're gonna always want to have a place to direct your clients to, which is gonna be either your Facebook page or your website. And on that website, they should be able to find more information, much more content. All right, so whenever you have all that content, you should always have the informative content that would add value to them. And we're gonna start seeing a little bit more once I start sharing how to actually make the ad. So the first step for everything as well is knowing who your target market is. Is your target market other businesses? Is it an industry? Is it a specific businessman? Is it going to be this is where you start making that buyer persona. Is it, is it Joe? He's from 24 to 30 years old. He likes to buy coffee at Starbucks. He has no children. He's working for this much salary, and his hobbies are, hiking, skateboarding, outdoors, photography, etc. That's how you start making this buyer. And like I said, this always comes from thorough market research. Or is it, for example, Annie? She's a homeroom teacher. She likes pets. She has 3 pets at home. She has kids as well. And she has these specific interests in this specific age range, in this specific income level. Or is it, an older generation couple, are they retired? They have this much income. They have different hobbies. They have more time on their hands, and they are potential clients for your product or your service. So it's the first step in order to make all your social media ads is knowing who you're going to direct those ads to. A lot of people make the mistake when they make an ad that it's going to be, oh, my ad, I'm going to show it to everybody in the United States or everybody in Mexico or everybody in Canada, and their money gets burnt up like that. And that's how you prevent this, by knowing who you're going to position your ads to. We're going to see this all on a live example right now. So the simple steps on how to create a paid ad strategy, if I had to number them down, it would be number 1, the internal analysis of your current social media or website, which is, like I said, does my website already have content for people to go to? Because the ads, they're going to be for taking people from being lead prospects to considering me into checking out my website, checking out my social media, and see if they want to buy my product or not, or my service. Okay, so you have to have an internal analysis. You're not just going to lead them to a website where there's nothing on there but just a button that says buy me. No, okay, you need to have content to go to. Next, establishing campaign goals. These have to align with whatever the goals are of the business. If the goals of the business are increase sales, then you need to make a campaign that's going to help you increase sales. If the goals of your business are to have more calls every day, then you need to establish the ads and everything for that. We're going to show you how to do that right now. Developing an ad strategy to meet our objectives and creating the customer journey map. We're going to show you what that is right now. How to budget and how to schedule, measuring our progress and our results, and then refining our strategy. These are the steps that I'm going to go ahead and start showing you right now. Okay, so let me just show you really quickly what is the buyer's journey map. The buyer's journey map is this. It's basically the different stages that any person makes before, before and after buying your product or your service. As you can see, the first stage is always awareness. The next stage is consideration. Awareness, okay, I know that product exists. I know that business exists. Okay, I see them here, I see them there. That's where the ads come in, and also the radio, TV, public relationships, word of mouth. These are the different steps that you can usually take. Online ads and email, billboard for the awareness page. They know that business exists thanks to public relations. They've seen it on the radio, TV. They've heard about it. They see online ads. there's a viral emails going around, or they see something on a digital billboard. They know that they exist. Next step is consideration. So by consideration, that means they actually start searching for you, which is where we're gonna go in. We're gonna go into this part, the awareness and the consideration phase, and also most likely the purchase page. Uh, that's where you work on the ads and all the website is this phase of the buyer journey. So they search, they go to that landing page, or they perhaps read a blog, a third-party site on it. They start considering you and your business as an option. The next stage is that you successfully navigated them through here and they purchased. They can purchase either through your website or through a physical location, but they made the purchase. Afterwards is a service phase, which means that you can always send them a direct message or a chat or a quick survey to see, hey, how was the business doing? Were we able to help you out, etc. And then finally, the loyalty phase or the advocacy phase, which means that they have fallen in love with your business and they're gonna buy from you again, and they start sharing. They want to know more about your business. They want to keep in touch. They start sharing it even more to your friends, etc. Okay, so this is the buyer's journey map. Whenever you make any type of ad strategy, you always got to have this into consideration. What is the buyer's journey map for your business? Okay, it's always going to be these phases. It's just the points are going to be different for each type of business. We're going to go ahead and start showing you enough of the theory part. We're going to go ahead and show you how to make an actual ad. To this point, do we have any questions? If you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask right now, or just raise your hand, or you can put them in the chat. I can go ahead and answer them as well. Okay, no questions? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and continue then. Perfect. So we're gonna start here, gonna go with the steps. We're gonna assume that I have a page that already works, and I actually do have my own business. And I'm gonna show you how to make an ad that I would make usually for my business. So it's gonna be a real life example. Okay, and let's say the goal for my business is to get more people to my website. Okay, I want more people to sign up for my business. Just to give you a little recap or a little idea of what my business is here. Okay, this is my business. The business name is Workera. And this is basically what we do is we are a recruiting agency for people who want to find a job of their dreams. It could be either in Canada or in the United States. It's basically we connect the person who wants to find their perfect dream job and they don't have it available where they live, and we help them with all the process they need for them to apply for a job in another country. So for example, let's say there's somebody in the US who doesn't find a job at their location, and they have all their studies, they have everything, but they just don't seem to be able to find a job, but they find that they have a job in Canada that they would like. So they go ahead and sign up for a platform, and they're able to connect with those employers, and we help them through the entire interview process and everything. So this is my business, Workera. Like it says, we don't recruit people, we connect talents, we connect them to the final employer. So we're gonna work with this one, okay? So the first step on creating an ad, let's say you establish the goals. The goal is for me to have more people directed to my website and have more people sign up. They sign up for a fee to be on the platform. They have access to a lot of content for them to better their soft skills, for them to continue education and like their work environment, etc. In the meantime, while we work to find them a job and prepare them to be ready to meet an employer in Canada, for example. Okay, so that's my goal. Get people towards my website. Next, we develop an ad strategy to meet the objectives, and we know what the customer journey map is. So we're gonna go ahead and start creating the design for the ad and everything. Okay, so we're gonna go through right here. All right. let's say this one, this tool that I'm showing you is Canva. Canva, what it is, it's a free online software where you can design anything. It could be a Facebook ad. It can be a Facebook ad. It could be a website design. It could be a logo, an infographic, Instagram post, postcard. So this is a free site, canva.com. You make your account. And right here, for example, you could put the dimensions for making an ad. Okay, so we're going to type in here, Facebook. Okay, and it'll give you the exact size already for making an ad. So you don't have to worry about getting the precise dimension. And it also comes with a lot of different templates that you can start editing, etc. So you have the exact dimension for making a Facebook ad. Okay, this photo, we have it from a free stock photo. So I could put in here, for example, my business. It is my target market is people who are usually straight out of college. They have their interest in traveling. They have their interest in gaining. They want to be better professionally. So this next step was to identify who my target market is, and this is my target market. My target market is this guy right here, Joe. He wants to work in another country. He wants to learn more. He wants to, have higher pay. He wants to have much more work experience, and just grow professionally, right? So that's my target market. So I'm gonna go ahead and search here for, let's see. Okay, download a photo. I'm gonna make one from scratch. Say we're gonna use this one. Okay. All right. So you upload a photo. Okay. And there's always going to be rules for creating the design and everything. I can go ahead and put together a guide for you guys on how it is, but it basically means that you create a design. The text part of the ad totally should not be more than 30% of the ad. Okay. So as you can see, this little section right here is no more than 30% of the entire image. Why? Because people don't like to, an ad that has a lot of text isn't attractive to the viewer and it will not create that much engagement for you, okay? So that's the first rule of the design. So I downloaded a photo, copy of this. Okay, we're gonna replace this image with the one I uploaded. Gonna put in her for the background. This is I was directing this past ad for students in Mexico City, Guadalajara, etc. So that's when we're gonna do it for, let's say, here in San Diego. It depends who your target market is. As you can see, there's a lot of blank space here. We're gonna shorten this. Website. You have them for that landing page. So as you can see right here, it's a really simple ad. There's a lot of different designs that you can look up, and there's a lot of different designs that are going to be depending on what type of business you have. For example, yeah, say Mr. Jose Guzman. Okay.
So you can place your logo on that template right there. I see that was already in there.
Yes, sir. Watch. We can go ahead and take it off. And this tool, I guess I should show you a little bit more how to use this tool. There's a lot of different tools. You can always have a graphic designer to do this as well. But like I said, the basic checklist I said, you need a professional logo. Okay. So my logo, and just re-download it again. I have it somewhere saved, but I'll just work with the one we have really quickly. This is my logo. So just download it.
One of the issues I have is matching the picture, actually the background of the logo. I guess there's certain images that you can, or certain way, the way it's saved, or the way it's created, where you can
Mhm.
place it and it'll be as a background. I guess I don't know how that works.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. For example, I have the same issue with mine, but as long as you have it as PNG, PNG is it allows you to stretch it and allows it to use it for anything digital. Okay, so just make sure when you save it and when you use your pictures, make sure they are in either PNG or JPG format. Okay. Now the part that you mean about the logo that has usually that background, for example, if I wanted just this part of the logo, that's the purple and the O, the R, the K era, and the rest of the background, just the white part off, I would need to vectorize my image. That's what it's called. And whenever you have that person design the logo, just ask for it to be vectorized or with a transparent background. So you'll have that problem. So you'll have that problem solved. Okay. Did I answer your question there, or?
Yes, I guess the thing would be get it vectorized, like you mentioned, and
Mhm.
that way you could adapt it to different types of coloring. I mean, the images that you're placing them.
Yeah, like I said, it's about how the logo was designed initially. You can always get it redesigned. Um, there's a lot of designers, especially also in the Valley, who work with that. So in the Valley or in San Diego, wherever you're hearing this from, there's people who do that. Okay? And I would recommend doing that highly because I know how it can be a little bit annoying to always have to work with that little white background. But for example, if I wanted just that part, if it were vectorized, I could just change the colors as well. But I always recommend having, which is why I said you need to have that professional look of your business. You need to decide the colors of your business from the get go. Okay, so this is assuming that your business, let's say, what is your business, sir?
So we're a health and safety training center. So
Okay,
CPR first aid is our main most popular program.
okay, and you have your own logo and everything, right?
Yes, and it's
Okay,
actually it's that's a pretty good question, because our logo is has changed over time,
okay,
changed about 3 times. But there's one logo on the website, and there is, for example, a different logo on my business cards, and
mm,
that has to do with the person that designed my website, how
okay,
he placed it, and both ways. I mean, it looks good. It just matters where you're going to place it, I guess.
okay. My recommendation is when you have your business, especially if you have a really professional business, you need to stick with that branding image, that logo, and that branding always has to be consistent, especially in the type of industry that you're working with. That a lot of people can get confused of one type of service from another, like for example, your competition or etc. So my recommendation is to first unify that branding, which means have the same logo on your business card, have the same logo on your website, have the same logo on your social media. Okay. The only time your logo should change is if part of your strategy is for your logo to change. Okay. Or if it's like, for example, seasonal. Let's say for Christmas, I want to put a little Christmas hat on the Workera, on the W right here, or I want to make the colors red, white, and black for just that season, have a little Christmas tree. That's the only time your logo really should change per se. And in reality, we're not changing, right? But for example, my business, um, the type of industry, the type of service is the colors they were chose specifically for this because the purple would really represent that confidence, that extrovertedness, that trust is what that color purple really represents. There's a whole way that you can start knowing that. You can always search it and know, because the colors of your design, the colors of everything really speak to the client, you know. So just to answer your question there, I would recommend having all those logos unified before you start doing this whole digital strategy, okay? Because then people are gonna see, okay, wait, is it the same business because the logo is different? Okay, is it the same guys that are doing really good ads on here, but when I try to call them, they might think, you know what, this isn't the same guy. They don't have the same logo, right? So that's my recommendation for that, okay? All right. So let's see, we were right here. We made this ad, you know, find the job of your dreams. And here's the website. So we can get him here. The next step, download the image. I think I downloaded the entire, okay. Just gonna download this one. Okay, and file type PNG, because PNG is a high quality image and it's good for digital. Okay, if you want to print it, you can do PDF or etc. Video. There's different little ways you can download it. PNG is the best one. Okay, and download. Perfect. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and show you. We have our little design already. The next step I'm going to show you is, okay, how to design the actual mock-up or the whole part of the page, how it's actually going to look, okay? This, what I use is always use a ad mockup generator. This one's for free. It's admocks.adparlor.com or just adparlor.com. I have the link in the end of the presentation here. And this basically shows you how to design your ad, and they even give you a free Facebook ads guide. Okay. And it's from Facebook. You download the ad, and it'll give you formats for the ad, formats for a video, okay, formats for the image, formats for making a collection. Here's the whole part of the design for the ad, okay? And it's a complete guide for the business. I always use this one. I mean, you can't get any better than this because it's from the actual you know, Facebook itself. So it'll give you the specs for the image, right? As it says right here, the recommendations, file type, JPG or PNG, image ratio. This means basically when you're filming something or when you take the picture on the ratio, recommended resolution, highest resolution available. And it says images that consist of more than 20% text may experience reduced delivery. Why? Because when it's something like this that has just a lot of text, it won't have that much engagement with your clients, because clients and people on social media are visual, very visual. So videos, images, very text are the best way to go. Okay. And it's going to start giving you all the rest of the recommendations, etc. Right. So like I said, we're keeping it very basic with the one I'm doing. For example, this is an ad for getting clicks to your website. You can choose either image, you can use video, or a carousel. Carousel is best for like little online stores, because you just go from, you scroll left to right, and then you find different items that you might be selling. Okay. So for example, in your business, if you have different products or different services, let's say the example for Mr. Okay, 1 second. Okay, for the example for the CPR video you just gave us right now, it could be, for example, a video. A video would probably be the best since it's an explanatory video. Or if you are selling products online, if you sell medical equipment, it could be from here, etc. So it's like I said, this it depends on the type of ad that you want to make. Okay. So all right, we're gonna go ahead and put here, specify the page name for Sarah. Okay. And like I said, this part is how to make a mock-up. It's not exactly the part of, you're not going to launch the ad from here, okay? So message. So the message is grab the interest with more info of what you're advertising. Keep it short, 90 characters or less. So in 90 characters or less, you're going to have the message that you want to have taken across for your business, okay? So for example, let's say our ad works with this one. Find your dream job in Canada, apply today. But, tired of not finding a job, find your dream job in Canada. Let's say this audience is for somebody in the US who isn't able to find a job, but he or she has college education or even high school education, but they just don't, just the part that where they live, they're not able to find a job. Somebody in the chat. If you sell cell phones and mobile plans, you recommend the carousel? Yes, definitely, it's a good option because you can put a lot of products into one ad. So yeah, that's definitely a good option as well. Okay. Image. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop our image. Okay, see, we had another question. Okay, you're welcome. All right, so we're just waiting here for the image to upload. Any other questions, you guys, so far? I know this might seem like a lot of image at first. I mean, a lot of information at first. So feel free to ask any questions. All right, so here we go. The next part is putting in the image. Like I said, it recommended no more than 20% of the entire image be text. So as you can see, if we were to divide this image into, let's say this is 50%, this is 60, or let's say this is 50, 70, 90% of the image, 50, 50, only 20% of the image is really using the text, okay? The attractive part of the image is over here, which is the whole visual. In this case, since I want to reach my target market being a college student or a person recently out of college who wants to find a job in Canada, we're using this image to identify that with them, okay? If, for example, your business is for the industry, if your business is for, let's say, other small business owners, you would perhaps put an image of a business owner. Or if your business was like the construction industry, you might put a building on the background, or you might even do an image, etc. Like I said, it depends who your target market is, how the entire visual of your ad is going to look like. Okay, so the essence of it is, number one, the Workera. You can always put in the logo as well, the logo. And you can also connect them directly with a Facebook page as well. Just for me, we're going to put in the logo. Perfect. Okay, so this is how it's going to look like to the person. Call to action. All right. The call to action depends on the goal that you want to reach for your business. Like I said, for my case, I want somebody to sign up for my services and sending them to my website. So I'm going to click sign up. In your case, if you want somebody to, it depends on what you want that to do. If you want that for them to visit your location, you can always put contact us or learn more. There's more options as well. If you want to book an appointments and you want people to book directly, you can put always book now, contact us to put in your phone. You put in your phone number, donate now if you're doing some kind of campaign, download if you're giving out some type of free ebook, free webinar. There's a lot of different content strategies that you can do. I'm just showing you like the technical part of how to make the ad, but the very important part is deciding what you want your ad to do. And the call to action is going to be that part that turns them from a prospect into an actual conversion or an actual lead once they have everything there. The most Also, the most efficient way also is by doing sign up, and you can ask for the email. You can ask for a lot of different information as well right through an ad. Okay. All right. So the headline here could be sign up today, or let's see, 30-day free trial. Say it's a free trial. Okay. The description, access to exclusive content. Okay. And the caption could be, let's see, you're gonna have people sign up there. Just put learn more, you can always put here the caption. You can go ahead and just put the website. So this is how the ad would end up looking. The reactions, it could be just part of the mockup here. You could put, you know, you want 20, you want 50, you want 100, etc. Okay. So this is how you want it to look. You could put the little option for the grid so you can know, okay, is it too much a part of the ad, etc. So let's say this is what my ad is going to look like at the end of the day. It'll show you the right hand section is, you know how you're on Facebook. The right hand section is usually the location that's going to be over here. Okay, and how it's going to look like on a mobile. Okay, so this is why the ad size is very important, because if you use, for example, an image that's too big or too small, once it adapts to a different format, it's not going to look as attractive. Okay, you know, just download the mockup. There you go. You have this ad mockup. You can always show this to, for example, if you're part of the marketing team on your business, or if you have a partner or anything, you can always show them this mockup. Okay. And you just got to go ahead and just put in your email if you want to have more stuff from there. But if not, you can just download the mockup over here, and it's downloaded. Okay. Any questions on the how to make the mockup and how to design this part? No? Okay. So why do we make a mockup first is so you can see how it's going to look like and have a visual of it before you actually start making the post and you start actually making the ad. So let's get started and let's start making the ad. Okay. Here is your, assuming this is your Facebook business page, okay? We are now on the Facebook business page. You know, you put in content, you do a lot of different things, you know, you upload content, etc. right? So for you to start making an ad, the best way for it to do it is by going to facebook.com/ads manager. Okay, this is the part of Facebook that shows you and that teaches you and that allows you to put an actual ad. Okay, a lot of people go with the impression that you get a notification that says, hey, this post is having a lot more activity than any other, because Facebook will do that and it'll tell you that would be a good candidate for an ad because it's having a lot of natural organic engagement, which means you're not paying for it, and say, hey, why don't you boost this post? It's called the boost post. And a lot of people go with, okay, boost post, and then they put in, oh, I want to boost it I want to put $20, and boom, I mean, yeah, you can have more people that might see the post and have an impression, but you don't see anything coming back. Okay, so I don't recommend doing a boost post. You can always, if you want to use that same piece of content that you made, I mean, you can make it directly from an ad from here. Okay, but do not boost posts. Basically, what I'm trying to say. All right. So this is the ads manager. How many of you have seen the Ads Manager before, or have you been familiarized with this part of Facebook? Nobody? Some. Okay, Mr. Guzman. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start showing you how to do the ad on the Ads Manager. We're going to take the same ad that we made on the mockup. Okay. So to make a campaign, let me show you just a little bit of how the Ads Manager tool works. This is the updated version. Ads Manager, these are the little shortcuts. Make it the regular menu. Okay. So here's the different tools of the Ads Manager. This is like to review the quality of the account. This is basically just to review any ads that didn't launch and you want to see why they didn't launch. Billing, you can put the payment history, etc. Business setting, you can manage people, assets, integration associated with your business. It's basically to give page roles, etc. as well. Brand safety, etc. Events manager. This part you most likely aren't going to work with too much. And it's just like the little shortcut to a place on Facebook there. Ad account settings, ads manager. We're going to work with the ads manager. The creative hub is pretty much the same, where you can make mock-ups and you can make a lot of different designs. And Facebook's going to tell you, okay, this one has good potential, etc. This part's really cool. We're going to maybe see that into another training. I mean, all these parts we can really take an entire course in how to learn this completely. But for right now, for the business owner, all you got to know is to create an ad. You click right here, okay? Create. Perfect. Okay, all right. So this is actually an ad that I was making back then. We're gonna start completely from scratch. All right, so it says right here, Ads Manager. It has the whole process right here, how you make it. It looks like a lot, but it's actually really easy to follow through, okay? All right, so it's gonna say, what's your marketing objective? Okay, is it awareness, consideration, and conversion? If you can see, this looks similar to over here. Okay, it's part of the buyer's journey. Think of it as a buyer's journey for social media. Okay, awareness, consideration, decision, adoption, loyalty, or advocacy. Okay, so I'm not making any of this stuff up, guys. It's all there. It's all real. All right. So what's the marketing objective? Is it awareness? Do you want people to have that brand awareness? Do you want to reach the most people necessary? And the reason why you choose these is because the algorithm of Facebook is going to adapt it for this specific purpose. Okay. So for my end, I want traffic. I want traffic to my website. Okay. This is what I want for my campaign. That's why I put in the whole website. If in your guys' case, if you want to have people, if you want to do a sale on it, you can do catalog sales. If you want to have people know where your business is and lead people towards your business, you put in store traffic, and then you can include like a little map. I mean, there's, like I said, depending on how you design the ad is going to be the result that you're going to get. If you have a video and you want to get the most views, if you want to have people give you their emails, and you can start making like your own list of possible prospects, you can do lead generation, which means that you're going to make the ad, and at the call to action, it's going to say, okay, this campaign is for people to give me their emails, their phone number, and their contact information so I can sell to them later on, or messages, or installs, or downloads. You know, if you want to give out a free ebook, there's an infinite number of things you can do with this. The one that we're going to work with is for traffic, because we want to direct people to our website or to our landing page. Okay. All right, so we choose traffic. Campaign name. Okay, we're gonna call this Workera website. Any name you want. A and B test. What the A and B test does is it launches multiple ads for different reasons. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and select it so I can show you what it is, and it will allow us to create an ad set, which means that it's more than one ad. It's usually 2 or 3 ads with different images. And what this does, it launches all 3 ads at the same time with the same segment that you selected. And what that will do is it's gonna say, okay, you know what? The ad number 1 with the picture of perhaps the girl student is going to attract more clients. Or for example, the ad with the professional ones that are saying 30 days off is gonna attract more people. Or the other one over here. Or for example, the one with this young man that says, you know, maybe this one has more attraction. Okay, so it's gonna launch. You upload these 3 different images, and it's gonna go ahead and tell you which one of them has better acceptance. Okay, and you select by, you know, which is more creative. We're gonna click on delivery optimization. Actually, let's go ahead and keep it simple. All right, we're not gonna do an A and B test for now. All right, so campaign budget optimization. The budget is how much you're gonna have the entire campaign, and this part's really important. You need to work with the budget that you guys have for your business. Let's say your entire marketing budget is $300 a month. You can't exceed that. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Let's say the cool thing about this is that you're able to put in the top amount that you're gonna be spending. Okay, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and do the A and B test. All right, what do you want to test? Delivery optimization. We're gonna go. Okay, so country, I was doing it in Mexico because there's a lot of, my target market is also in Mexico. It's in big cities like Mexico City, Guadalajara, Monterrey, because that's where a lot of students are that aren't able to, that are very, very, very prepared, and they are more likely to acquire my services. Okay. So like I said, and this is all based upon the business plan. This is based upon everything launched before. Okay, so United States. All right. Continue. Perfect. All right. So the first thing is going to say traffic. Choose where do you want to drive the traffic. You'll enter more details about the destination later. All right. For right now, I want a website. If you want people to download an app or send them to an app, there's a different, you're going to select that you want traffic towards your app. You want traffic towards your messenger in your inbox. You can select that too. Or if you want it for your WhatsApp business, which is also much newer and it's really cool to use as well. So you can get more people to message you on your WhatsApp business. Okay. All right. So we want the website for right now. All right. The variable we selected, which is creative. So which this one says, understand which creatives your audience is more likely to engage with the pictures. Delivery optimization. So it's going to say where on Facebook or where in the internet is it going to show the ad, which means is basically going to show it to people on Instagram stories. This is going to show it to people on different websites. You know, whenever you're watching a video on Facebook, it stops it for an ad. Okay, it's going to show you which one of those places is best for your website. I mean, sorry, for your ad to appear on. Okay, audience, understand which groups of people are more likely to respond to your ads, or placement. Which platforms are more effective? If it's better for it to be on YouTube, if it's better for it to be on Instagram, etc. Right. The cool thing, and why I mentioned Instagram a lot, is because Facebook is actually the owner of Instagram, and any ad that you run on Facebook, and if you have an Instagram page linked, it's going to run it on your Instagram as well. Okay, so you basically get that promotion on Facebook and Instagram for the exact same ad and the exact same price. Okay, so that's really cool. So we're going to go with creative, just to know which picture your audience is more likely to engage with. Okay? Audience. Now I have one already made for my work era ads before. So this is my audience. It goes right here, which is why I said you got to know who your target market is. So my audience is usually people who have already previously liked me on Facebook or on Instagram, and their location and where this ad is going to be showed is going to be shown in these different cities in Mexico. Okay, and the age my for my potential audience is 24 to 40. Okay, those are the people that my business is directed to. Now we're going to make one from scratch. Let's say this is the one for the United States. I'm going to create a new one. Click right here. And right here, you're able to select if you could link up your website, and then you could say people who've already gone on your website before. Yes. Raise your hand. Yes. Do you have a question?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
How do you target other businesses as opposed to individuals? Like if my business is business to business, I do diversity, inclusion, and equity services.
Okay.
How do I target businesses as opposed to individuals?
Okay. Do you have a Facebook business page?
No, I do not.
Do you know
But
if
I
the
have a
businesses
business
that
LinkedIn page.
Perfect. Okay. On LinkedIn ads, it's pretty much the same concept right now. I wish I could show you the LinkedIn ads, but it's going to take a little bit more time. But
Yeah, you don't have to
you
answer
know-
my question right now. I was just,
yes, but you can target them.
mentioning
You can
that you
target
can finish
pages.
what you're talking about, and you can address my question later.
Perfect. Yeah, no problem. But
right,
to
thank
answer
you
your
so
question
much.
really quickly,
Okay.
is you can target them. You can target business pages. Okay.
Okay.
For example, that's the reason I asked if you have a Facebook page, is because if you had a Facebook page and if you know that your clients have a Facebook page, you can just click right here and you can create an audience of people specifically who have interacted with your Facebook page. Let's say
I
that your
actually
business.
do have a Facebook page for one
Okay.
of my one for my music.
Perfect.
So I guess I could use that for that aspect of it.
Perfect. Yes, and if your potential clients have liked you before on Facebook or have interacted with your page, you can go ahead and include them right here.
I can go ahead and what?
And include them right here, because it's going to create an audience of people who have followed or interacting with the page. If that other business page has interacted with yours in any way, you're going to go ahead and include them by clicking here. Or
I see.
if they checked out your website or if they downloaded it in your app, etc. Okay. And you can go ahead and do that. And that's how you target other businesses. That's also how you target different industries and everything. Like I said, it's a whole other. It's really scary how you're able to target a lot of people on here.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and create this new one. All right, so we're gonna work with people who have interacted with my Facebook page. We're gonna go ahead and do yours. Okay, so right here you would put your page instead of the, well, mine was Workera. Your just would be, what's the name of your business? I'm sorry.
Sorry, I unmuted myself. Are you talking to me who just asked the question?
Yes.
My business is, well, actually it's just my name.
Okay.
I'm a consultant. I'm a diversity, inclusion, and equity consultant. So it's my full name, Setche Kwamunana.
Setche Kwamuna, right? Did I say it right?
Setche Kwamunana.
Setche Kwamunana. Yes?
Perfect, yes.
Awesome. All right. So you're gonna go ahead and you put the purple, I'm looking here at the color of my logo. You put the page that you want right now. For example, this would be your business page. And you can put in everybody who has engaged with your page in the past 365 days. And say you have a competitor. I'm going to put here. So right now, since I don't have them engaged with me, they won't appear. But if they were like, if they like my page, I like their page, I can include them right here and I can target them as well.
Okay. Okay.
Name an audience. Let's call this Workera US. Audience. Perfect. All right. So now here comes the fun part. You created the name of the audience and you have a base of them of that it's somebody that's interacted with your page. If you're starting from scratch, you can also do something like this. You can create a new custom audience, and you can just ignore this part. For example, let's say I'm starting completely from scratch. Okay, I don't have a custom audience at all. I'm starting from scratch. Here's what you do. Okay, so you're gonna go straight to this part that says locations. In my case, I'm gonna go into the United States. Let's keep working with your example. Okay.
Okay.
For
Do you
your
want-
type of
do you want
businesses,
the name of my actual page that exists right now, my music page, is that what you were asking for earlier?
yeah, that's what I was asking for earlier.
Okay, it's called Seche Music. And
Seche
Seche
Music?
is SETCHE.
Okay, perfect. I won't be able to put it in here for because I'm not linked to your page on our
I
Facebook
see.
business, but
Okay.
let's do this. For your business, for your clients, where do you
Mhm.
identify they come mostly from? Like, for example, let's say you work with clients in the US, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's focus US. Okay, so we're gonna go United States. Now, do you have any idea where most of your clients are coming from or location? Or how about go ahead and tell me, where do you want your clients to come from?
That's a great question because I was just about to ask you that. So in the past, I've done like some, I know you say we shouldn't boost posts, but I didn't know about like actual ads, so I've been boosting posts. And the clients I end up having weren't necessarily the client where I wanted. I wasn't getting clients from where I was hoping to get from. So most of my clients are from Cameroon, West Africa, that's the country, but I was mostly advertising in the US.
Okay.
And I wasn't necessarily getting the demographic I was mostly targeting. So
Right.
I guess it just kind of, every time I do that, it does its own thing.
Okay. Let's do this. We're gonna come up with I love that you interacted because it's gonna make this a lot easier to explain. All right. So let's say the type of clients that you wanna speak to. You say that you're a consultant in I guess the financial sector, right?
No, I do diversity and inclusion. So it's
Diversity.
more like,
Oh, okay. All
yeah.
right. I get you. All right. So who would be the clients that you want to go after? You're mostly your clients. They're gonna want to be, I'm guessing, organizations, right, or businesses.
Right, right.
Okay. Let's say that you want to work with businesses in, let's say, California. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Let's say San Diego, California.
San Diego, California. The
Yeah.
cool thing about this, you're able to precisely put San Diego, California.
Okay.
You're able to put a range of
Mhm.
if just the city, or you know what, you want the entire section of the range. Just keep in mind the more that you
Okay.
put in, or you could even put specific cities. Let's say that you find the clients that you want to reach. That's what I do. I
Mhm.
launch ads. I have two target markets for mine. For Workera, one of them are the students. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So let's say I'm going to work with the example right here. My students are in San Diego, people who have graduated from USD, who have graduated from, you know, whatever universities are in San Diego, Oceanside, or this range right here. Okay.
Mhm.
And then I have another target market, which are the businesses that I want to reach, which is
Mhm.
what you do, who your businesses are your target market. So let's say what I do is my business are in Canada. Okay.
Right.
What I do is I go on LinkedIn. I search for businesses who have a lot of postings on LinkedIn
Mhm.
and on Facebook. And I say, okay, this business is in Ontario. So I'm going to direct all my ads to Ontario. Okay.
Okay.
So this is what you're going to do. Your businesses that you want to reach, you have your target market. You say I want to reach, I don't know, Microsoft, the
Mhm.
Microsoft or Comcast in San Diego. Okay. So what
Mhm.
you're going to do is you're going to direct your ads towards San Diego, and you're going to put in, you can even put addresses on this thing. So
Ah.
it's pretty crazy. So let's say you have their office in San Diego. Let's
Mhm.
say they have another location in San Francisco,
Mhm.
or you have a group of businesses that you want to reach in San Francisco.
Mhm.
Boom, you put in San Francisco. So let's say you have another business that you want to reach, and they are in Las Vegas.
Mhm.
Okay. City of Las Vegas. Okay.
Wow, so I can put many specific locations.
Yes, instead of putting the entire US, and if you can see right now, my potential reach is 6,700,000 people. A lot of people go with the wrong idea that, okay, this means that I'm gonna have 6 million clients. Okay, that's the part. This is the potential reach of the demographics that you put. These are the people that live in these 3 cities. Let's put one more for just the sake of, so you can see how it affects over here.
Okay.
Let's put one more. Give me an example. Another city.
Houston, Texas.
We're gonna do Houston, Texas.
Sorry?
So we're gonna go ahead and do Houston, Texas, okay?
Okay.
All right, so here's how it looks like. Here are the people that are in this range that we're gonna target, okay? So next, here's the big part. Here's where this number is gonna change. You know that the person who makes the decision in purchasing your business is most likely going to be the leader of that organization, okay? You know, like I said, this is why I said you have to make up your buyer persona since the very beginning, your target market.
Right.
Is that person, you know, he's on social media, and you know that you got to think like that business owner. So we're going to target a business owner. The business owner, let's say, who's experienced and the type of client that you want is most likely going to be, I even want to say 40s.
That sounds about accurate.
40 to 65, okay? Let's say that sounds about accurate for that's the person who is the type of client that you want to reach and who actually makes these type of decisions, okay? All right, so let's say is it usually men or women? We're gonna leave it both,
Right.
okay? Because at the end of the day, for yours it's something for inclusion. Okay, so we're gonna leave it both. Languages, we're gonna usually put in the language of whatever country that the people are in. So obviously we're gonna put English here. Spanish if it applies. Okay, and like I said, this has to come from a study that you did first. Okay, so let's say you did the study. This is what it said. All right, so here's the cool part: detailed targeting. Okay, right here you can add demographics, interests, and behaviors. What's that mean? Okay, demographic. Let's say, go ahead and put in like the type of businesses that you have worked with in the past or that you want to work with.
Manufacturing,
Manufacturing.
biotech.
So these are people who have an interest.
Wait,
in
are you asking me to
manufacturing.
put the kind of companies or the kinds of positions of the people who would hire me?
Both. Okay. You also mentioned another about tech.
Biotech.
Biotech.
Yeah.
Okay, so biotech. Also manufacturing, you could put, you got to read here. It could be a job title that's a manufacturing or
Oh, okay. If we're
manu-
looking for, I thought you were asking for like the industry I mostly service, but if we're wanting the job title of the people who might want to hire me, that's different. It might
like I
be
said,
like,
we're gonna put in all of that. So
oh, we'll put
let's
all
say
of them. Okay,
yeah, we'll put
cool.
all of them. Because as you can see, this number is actually getting much more specific. We were at 11 million.
Yeah, that's really cool.
All right, so biotech, we're putting the interest in the industry right here. Biotech manufacturing. Give me one more.
For industry, let's do nonprofit.
Nonprofit. Awesome. Nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's do job titles. Okay.
Okay. You would have human resources manager or just human resources.
There's an interest in human resources management. We're going to put it as an interest, and we're also going to put human resources as the person who has the position.
And then you put diversity and inclusion.
Perfect. All right. So human resources, let's try to see if it has job position. If it doesn't appear here, you can click on suggestions or browse.
Okay.
Okay, demographics. You can also put here education, education level, fields of study. So education level will start here that they usually should have a college degree.
Usually.
Okay. And you can go from here. I mean, there's
Interesting.
the most specific that you make, the better. And it's also going to give you So
The
also going to
number's
show
gone
you.
down to like 2
Uh-huh. It
million.
will go up and down depending on the type of interest that you put here.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go back to the demographics. Work. Here's the industries and job titles.
Okay.
All right. So let's say, do any of these look like, okay, healthcare medical services?
Um, do we see like any consulting or training and development?
Training and development?
Uh-huh.
Okay, we can search that.
Consulting or business services?
All right, let's see. Tell me if you see it, okay? Community
Okay.
competition, business and finance. Let me put this, okay. Administrative services. One.
Let's do business. I saw something like business.
Yep.
Or administrative also works. I saw something like business and finance.
Business and finance, here we go. All right. So we'll work with these two right now. Interest
Okay.
in biotech, human resources management, etc. Okay. You can put much more. I think we have a couple of questions. We're going to get to them right now. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see. Demographics. Okay. Shopping and fashion, outsource. Okay. Since your business is targeting other businesses, these are the type of stuff that you're going to input. Okay. You can
I
always
see.
go
Okay.
interests. Okay. If you were targeting
Okay.
that specific person, you can use a lot more different demographics like education level, how much they
Okay.
make in a year, what type of life events. You could put people who just recently got married, who had an anniversary, had a birthday, depending on what type of product you have. If
Okay.
they're in a relationship or not. I've done like Valentine's Day promotions, and these are like my main go-tos, etc. Right? So we're gonna leave it as that for right now, just for the sake of the exercise. But like I said, as you can see, it is much more that you can include. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I had a couple questions as well. Whoever asked first, I guess, will answer.
Hey, so my audience is pretty broad. At first I was just targeting, for example, healthcare professionals, childcare providers, but it's pretty broad. It's basically, I mean, anyone who's required to have a certification for a job they're seeking or for an employment that requires them to be certified. So it's pretty broad. The age, I do find that most of my clients are female, and that's pretty awkward because, well, not really, because I think there's a big opportunity in other industries that I'm missing out on because they're mostly male dominated. In education, I get a lot of females, and the ages really vary. I mean, it starts anywhere from 20 to, even 50 years old. So it's very broad. So how do I, like I said, 90% of my clients are female. So how do I broaden that out without having to overreach?
Okay. Like I said, for your business, it's possible for you to have many target markets. I said that a little bit at the beginning. So what I recommend to you is you need to have a marketing plan in order and identify who are your target markets and make an ad specifically for each one. Okay. This ad, for example, we're doing the example of the people in the US, and let's say we wanted to target these business owners for that example. But for you, you could have target market A, which are women that you've seen that use your product or your service the most. You have target market B of the industry that you want to reach, and you can make a specific ad for that business. Okay, so it's very, very possible for you to have up to 5, 10, 15 different ad sets for different target markets. Okay, it's very possible for you to do that without having to affect the other ones. But at the end of the day, you just got to remember, all right, who are the clients that are going to help out my business the most, and who are the clients that are going to really purchase the products or the services the most, and that's the ones that you got to focus on. Okay, I don't know if I answered your question there.
Yes, that's helpful. So just having different, different ads for different.
Target markets, yeah. The first step is identifying who are those target markets. Like for example, you said that you want to reach a male-dominated industry. What industry would you say that would be?
Yes, so that would be the construction industry,
Okay,
manufacturing industry.
perfect. So you want to reach and you want to target the manufacturing and the construction industry. All right, perfect. So what you would make is a new ad and a new campaign. Like I said, this is just the ads are this tiny part of an entire strategy. Okay, so you have to first put in this entire strategy of how you're going to target these guys. If you need to adapt products, or if you need to adapt your services for these guys, I mean, it's you got to do that first before you redo the ad. The ad is just that little tiny part that's going to help you reach them. It's a channel, right? So let's say you did all this. Now you're going to make the ad. The ad to reach that specific target market, you need to know who the person is that makes the decision of buying. You need to know the age range. You say that you want to target men. You know where they're going to be located at, or if you don't know yet, you can always start broad and start, going down and down, which is what a lot of people do at the very beginning, and then from there you can start learning exactly who that is. Okay, so you would put men, their languages. You would say that you want them to be in the manufacturing industry or in the construction industry. You start putting the interest of that type of demographic that you want to reach, and then you launch the ad, and then you see what the acceptance is on that ad. Okay, another option that a lot of businesses do, especially when they're starting out, is that they know who the target market is, but they don't know exactly what locations they are, so they launch an ad overall to see. They just launch it, and then they start saying, okay, you know what, this ad had a lot of placement in, because after you do the ad, it's going to start giving you all the analytic parts. It's going to start saying, hey, you know what, your ad had really good acceptance in California, or it had really good acceptance in Arizona, or it had really good acceptance here. And you can like reverse engineer it, and you can start saying, okay, according to these ads, these people are going to be my target market. Okay, so you can use an ad also to identify who your target market is, but I don't recommend that unless you have a lot of money to spend on it. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and continue here. All right. So we are going to work with the example that we had for the past business. Right. You're going to go ahead and just leave it as automatic placements recommended, because it's going to place them on different places that Facebook will see fit that has this target market. As you can see, we ended up with a reach of 2,500,000 people, because they're big industries. Okay. And these are the people we want to target. People or industries that are in administrative service, business and finance. They have a college degree, who are usually that we know that it's going to be the person that's going to be ahead of that industry, and specifically these types of interests. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and do here delivery optimization, which means we'll deliver ads to people who are more likely to click on your ads link and load the website. That's the one we want. Okay. Here is you leave all this how it is. It's the recommended version. Here's the part where you put in the daily budget on the duration of the ad. Recommendations are, whenever you make an ad, you need to have the budget. Let's say your budget was those $300, or let's say that budget was at $100, okay, for that campaign, and you wanted it to run for, okay, as you can see, the maximum it allows us to do is 9 days, because you can do daily or you can do lifetime. Okay, for lifetime, let's say we have 100. Okay, my ad's going to run for 9 days, and it's going to cost no more than $100. Okay, and it's going to say it's still 70% efficient, which is all good. and it's going to run from May 21st to May 30th. Okay. So here's what this ad's going to do. It's going to take my $100 and it's going to potentially reach this amount of people. And it'll be setting them out. And what you want to have at the end of the day is the lowest cost per click, which means one person, how much does it cost me to send one person towards my website? If I put in $100 on my ad and I'm able to reach 2 million people, and we know out of these 2 million people, usually it's a funnel. These 2 million people, probably 10% of them are going to actually see my ad, and which means, let's say, less than 10% of that are actually going to go into my ad. Still, if you reach 2 million people, and let's say 3 people, or this is just really, really low number, but let's say, I don't know, 20 people. 20 people actually went into your website, and these 20 people bought a product or your service. And let's say for that consulting service that you had, you charged, I don't know, $1,000 for the entire service for a week or a month, etc. Okay, it cost you, if you divide and you make the calculations, the whole ad cost you $100, and you sold 20 products or services that cost 1,000. I mean, it's just an example, of course, but that's how you find out that return over the investment. And there's other ways to measure it as well. Okay, any questions on that part? I know it could be a bit confusing at first. No, we good, guys? Okay. All right, so I'm going to leave this as a lifetime budget, $100, 4 days. Okay. Continue. All right, so it tells you here for the amount of people that it is, the minimum is 200, just for the amount of people. Most businesses, I mean, they don't really have that many people that you want to reach on your target market. It's just we a lot of cities. Okay. In order to eliminate cities, this number will go way down. You know, we could do, like, for example, in the Imperial Valley, that number will go way down, etc. So continue. Okay, and here it's actually going to be very similar to what we already did on the mockup. You can see it's pretty much the exact same thing we did on the mockup. You can even copy and paste everything. Copy. Okay, so right here is going to launch, like I said, those 3 ad sets. I think I selected carousel. Okay, there. Single image. So what the ad is about. Write a short headline. Just basically going to copy paste everything that we put on the ad. Call to action. Image. Okay, so these are past images that I've used. This one was for an Instagram story that I wanted to make. This one's also the one for Facebook. This one was also for, yeah, I think it was also an Instagram story. As you can see, it's a different size, pretty much. These are the sizes for a regular Facebook ad. Even when you launch them on Instagram, Instagram is going to adapt it automatically. But this is a recommended pixel size for an ad. Right now, it's processing my image. Continue. Perfect. You see, it's going to start showing it over here. ProCareGlobal.com, 30-day free trial. Sign up. Okay. And that's pretty much it. That's how it's going to show you on the Facebook, and it's going to show it on different news feeds. This is a really cool thing. You're able to see it, how it's going to look on a Facebook in-stream video. If it were a video, it'd show you the whole video. On the desktop right side, on the Facebook video feeds, well, it needs to be a video. On a mobile marketplace feed. So imagine if you had your products and your services in all these different feeds. Why? Because you selected that it's going to show you on which one of these places is going to be the best for you in Facebook stories. See, it's on this size, it adapts it for you. But if you chose the bigger image, it's going to adapt it for you as well. Instagram. Okay, so your ad's going to launch it on all of these places, and it's going to tell you at the end of the day which one of these is better for you. Okay, once you start reading the insights. So all this different stuff is for different tracking. This is like for options that you can put on your website. Okay. So this is ad A. Ad B is the same thing, just a different image. Okay. Ad B, you would change the image. You'd add the other image. Let's say the other one, I want this one. Because I'm also gonna put the people in Spanish. Okay. And it's the exact same thing. It's just a different image. Okay. All right. So what you're gonna do here is click on confirm. And it just tells you to put in your payment info. All right. Once you put in your payment info, United States, put in your card, put in all that kind of stuff. You can do with PayPal as well, and continue. All right. And after this, like I said, you put in the budget. The ad's going to launch for $100, $200. The total ads, you're going to have that potential reach. You have the specific target market, and at the end of the day, once you launch the ad, it's going to appear here. Okay, so now we're going to put cancel because, well, I just made the ad. Once you do that, you're going to be able to see your ad right here. Once it's live, that's what we call when an ad is live. You're going to be able to see it right down here. It's going to say the name of the campaign, the delivery. It's going to tell you how many people have seen it. What was your budget? What are the results? The reach. The reach is how many people the ad was sent to. The impressions are how many people saw the ad. Like they physically saw it. It doesn't matter if they scroll down it. But if they saw it for, I think it's more than like a second, they didn't have to necessarily click on it, but they saw it. So it's an impression. That's what it is, an impression. A cost per result means that they clicked on sign up now on that call to action and it sent them. So this cost per result is the important key aspect of this. I've had cost per results that have been as low as 14 cents, 25 cents. Depending on the people it reach, it could be cost of $1, $5. It matters on the amount of people it sent. And you just compare that cost per result of, let's say, it cost me $5 per person to enter and buy my service, which costs $10. Okay, so you know that it costs you $5, and you want $5 off of that person of that ad. Okay, so that's how these ad works. Any questions? Do you have any questions, guys? Or do we move on to the Google Ads, which basically works the exact same way?
We can move on if no one has.
Perfect. Okay, so as you can see is how to use this tool. It takes a little bit of time to use it, but you can see that all the potentials that you have by advertising on this. The difference between this and other type of traditional marketing is that you are the person who controls who views your ads, you know, and you're able to know exactly how much you're investing and how much of that return of your investment is. Instead of like if you were paying a newspaper ad that you or a TV ad spot that you don't necessarily know how many people were driven because of that ad, unless you give like a certain discount or promotion, then you know, okay, this was because of that newspaper, you know, or this was because of that paid media that I did. Okay, so that's a huge difference, and this is why I like to use paid media on social media. Okay, so we're gonna move on.
I do have a question though, now that you were
Yeah.
talking.
Uh-huh.
And maybe you cover this when we do Google Ads, I don't know. But like if I have videos on YouTube that I want to promote, is it better to do it directly on YouTube or to go to Facebook? Sometimes I would instead post it on Facebook and then boost the post on Facebook. What is your recommendation? Are there ways to create ads in YouTube itself as opposed to trying to use Facebook?
Okay.
Does my question make sense?
Yes, it does. And actually, let me go ahead and explain this very quickly. Facebook ads and social media ads are one type of marketing, digital marketing tool. The other one that you're mentioning for YouTube and for Google and everything is called search engine marketing. Okay.
Okay.
SEM, which is like SEO. Have you heard of those concepts before? SEO and SEM?
I've heard of them, but I don't really understand what they are.
Okay. SEO, search engine optimization, has everything to do with the website. That means that your website is optimized to appear higher on search engines because you have keywords. Search engine optimization basically means keywords. Like let's say on your website you have the word flower a million times. So when somebody searches for flower on Google, it's gonna appear your website's gonna appear on that search because it's optimized for that search engine. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically like a quick example of search engine optimization, as well as like when people search for a keyword like I don't know, business consulting, and we appear as the SBDC because we have our SEOs to have those keywords, etc. Okay, so search engine marketing. What search engine marketing is everything that has to do with Google Ads, which I'm going to show you right now, and placement, which means, have you ever been on a website and you see like on the ad section of that website an ad for a product or service that you may have been thinking about purchasing before? Or for example, in my case, whenever I go like on a type of blog or another type of website, I always see this little ad for e-commerce stuff or for like hosting websites, etc. Because I work with a lot of these um, e-commerce things. I'm always investigating on that type of topic, so it's going to appear to me a lot. So that's what search engine marketing is. It's even if you look like for a product on Amazon, like let's say you were looking for a toaster oven on Amazon, and then you go to another website that's sort of similar and has SEMs, you're going to see that ad for that toaster oven because search engine marketing is all about placement. So for YouTube, you can definitely make a YouTube ad, and you can do that either directly with YouTube or with Google. Okay, that would be a whole other
So my
training for that
question
whole
is,
YouTube ad. Uh-huh.
so my question is, what would be more effective, to do it directly on YouTube or to do the ad on Facebook? Like I already have the video on YouTube. Is it
Mhm.
better to pay for the ad on YouTube or to post the link in Facebook and pay for the and boost that post
Okay,
or
you
whatever?
you can definitely do both. At the end of the day, it'll depend on where your custom audience is. I mean, if you see that your custom audience is more on YouTube, then go ahead and invest in the whole YouTube. If you see that you're able to reach them through Facebook, then do the post on Facebook and share the video.
Okay.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it'll depend on where do you think it's gonna have most impact. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. All right. So for this one, Google Ads is actually a lot faster to use because it's very user friendly. Um, if you want to have all the stuff like that you see on the ads with a lot more technical stuff, you can always click on switch to expert mode. But for most people, these are like the main options, which are get more calls, get more website sales or signups, or get more visits to your physical location. Like I said, we want a website. people to go on our website. Okay, so you're gonna describe the business. Website isn't allowing you, you can always put the Facebook page, or you can put that YouTube link as well. Or our Facebook, you put in the link for your YouTube. In your case, it's just whatever link is up here. So as you can see, the targeting is the same thing that you got to do is target your markets. Okay, so if you put in the address of your business, it'll appear right here. Okay, for example, if our business, let's say we're in El Centro. You can put it either a radius or a specific area, etc. Just the exact same thing that we saw in the other options. Okay. You put in reset San Diego. Vegas and Houston, Texas. Like I said, you already know and you identify who this works. Now, you don't always have to use every single ad platform. Like I said, it will depend on where your clients are, okay? Where your clients are finding you from.
Okay.
Okay, in my case, most of my clients will be coming from social media. So perhaps in Google, I don't have to invest as much as I do in social media. But for example, if you, especially if you target other businesses and other industries, they
Mhm.
will find you by search engines, okay?
Okay.
By search engines and websites. I guess I should have said that a little bit more at the beginning. For example, for the industry, a lot of people who work with either government contracting or with business to business, they will find you by looking up for your specific service on Google. They will go to Google, okay, and they will find by, let's see, medical. Okay. That's how they're gonna find you, pretty much. Medical device companies in California. Let's say this company, they pay for an ad and they have the website, and this is how they find this is search engine marketing. Okay.
Okay.
In your case, it was about consulting of what? I'm sorry, consulting inclusion, right? You
Yeah,
said
diversity, inclusion.
diversity, inclusion. Okay. That's how probably they're gonna search diversity and inclusion in California. Yeah. These are the places that are gonna appear. Okay. Diversity,
For
inclusion, and
this
equity.
optimization, is this something that is done within my website?
Yep. Within your website and within a Google My Business account, which we can set up a session and look up what that means later on.
Okay.
But yeah, that's directly in your website, and most of it can actually be done without having to spend money.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. search engine marketing you do require because it's paid ads.
Okay.
Okay.
So we
Let's
can make
say,
an appointment. You said we can make an appointment. Did you say something like that?
yeah, definitely. After
Okay.
the session is done. Let's say, so they're probably gonna search something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And what you gotta do is you need to have these phrases. I'm gonna show you how to do that right now. These
Okay.
phrases, so you can appear at the top. Okay. So as you can see, these
Okay.
business bought these
Uh-huh.
phrases, and that's how they appear.
Okay.
We help companies create equitable workplaces. Contact us for more info. Shop
Okay.
better. I really like this ad. So I'm just gonna copy and paste it
Oh,
for
that's an actual ad.
reference. Yep.
Cool.
Okay. Basically, this is how yours is gonna appear.
Okay.
I'm gonna copy and paste this for reference because we're gonna put this in right now.
Okay.
So let's say you want to target these people. Next. Oh yes, Mr. Guzman, you have a question?
Yeah.
I also had a
So
question. Yeah.
so if somebody's searching, here locally, and for example, we sell defibrillators, and they're searching AED sales, for example, or and they don't put near me. Would that automatically, if my website has the AEDs on the site, would that search us? Because I know if you do a Google search, for example, CPR classes near me, the people my clients have said, that's where we found you. But if if somebody wants to purchase a defibrillator, uh, would that be the same? I mean, if it's on my website?
Yes. Yes, it'll depend on that SEO and this SEM. The SEO is if they put near me, they're gonna be able to find you. Okay, find your location, and if they're in the required location, they'll be able to find you. But if they're looking for the product in general, you're gonna want to use a Google Ads to purchase the name of or the keywords. Okay.
Okay, so yeah.
Mm.
So if I Google AEDs, I mean a whole bunch of sites show up.
Yep.
So if I'm searching more specific like AEDs for sale near me, then it would find probably me close by. But if it's just if you put an ad, then if they put AEDs, AED sales or something like that, they would then if I have an ad, it'll pop up.
Exactly.
Okay.
How it works. And only if that person who searched it is in the location of that you put in right here. Okay.
Right.
So let's say a person in San Francisco searched for that product. How do you spell it? I'm sorry, ADs?
Yeah. AED. Correct. Yes.
ADE products for sale, I guess. Or how would they search it?
Just or defibrillators.
Okay.
Defibrillators. There you go.
Now let's take an example of these guys. Defibrillators and accessories, shop all new defibrillators, etc. I don't know who this company is or anything, but I do know that I am within what they put right here. If they probably, big businesses, what they do is they just put it the entire United States, and whoever put in for United States and they search that, they will appear at the top. Now, if they put only California and I search this, and I could be a potential client.
Yeah, they're all over the U.S.
It depends on the budget. Like I said, mostly big businesses are allowed to have this, but they start with a big budget and they start going smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, which is what I mentioned earlier with the Facebook ad. So in your case, defibrillator for sale. So are you in the Imperial Valley or in San Diego?
Imperial Valley. I haven't done much with it, but I don't know. Let's see what shows.
These guys are still here in California. Imperial
Oh,
County, Medic First, El Centro, Medic First, Imperial Valley, Wolf Island, etc. Okay.
Yeah, so that's Medic First Aid.
So there's all what appears when you search for that in Imperial Valley. Let me show you a quick example. Show you a really, really quick example, just so you have a little bit more of an idea. So this one, I'm going to search out of Workera. I'm going to search into our SBDC. Okay. All right. Now, put yourself in our shoes for a second for the Imperial Valley Small Business Development Center. Okay. Now, let's say we want people to find us on Google. Okay. How do we know how people find us on Google? So if I search for business, okay, there's going to be a lot of different places that are going to start appearing. Start consulting business, okay, for just a general word. If I would have had a paid ad with the words business consulting, I would have appeared as a paid ad all the way at the very top. In this case, since I searched something near me in Imperial Valley, here I am. Imperial Valley Small Business Development Center. Okay, so how do you know how people search for you on Google or on search engines? You make what you call a Google My Business account, and you go down here to Insights. Voila, you can say how people find your business. Okay, people search for SBA 95 times, business, small business development center, business development, small business administration, small business consultant, security training near me, small business near me, etc. These are all the different keywords that people find you on. So what you would do is you say SBA. Okay, I know I have SBA. You would go towards your website. You would type in as many times as you can SBA, business, small business, and that's how you start getting that SEO. Okay, this Google My Business allows you to see how many people search to you by month. Okay, total searches we've had the entire quarter is 2,800 searches. People have found us 60% of the time through discovery, which means they are listing for a category, product, or service, branded because they specifically search for our anything that has to do with our brand, SBA, SBDC, etc., or directly typed in Imperial Valley Small Business Development Center, okay, which is usually less common. Okay, by finding out how people search for you or for your business or what type of products they search for, that's the type of products that you're going to start investing in. Okay, so it's not like, oh, I think people will find me by searching the word defibrillator. No, they will most likely, if they're searching for something else, it might not be a defibrillator, it might be some other product, and you can buy that keyword. Okay, did I answer your question there on how a little bit more on how this works?
Yes.
Okay, and there's other ways to know how SEOs and what keywords you can buy. There's a lot of amount of ways that you know, it's just not gonna give me enough time to explain to you. But with all, you know, with you can do whatever you would find the best. I would recommend if you could just send me an email and we could schedule an appointment. Okay, and we could talk about this for your specific business a lot more.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, anybody else have a question?
So is your email included in this? How do we have your contact so we can set up appointments?
Yeah, I'll show it at the end of the presentation.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So back to the quick example. That's a new campaign. Keyword themes. Okay. Keyword themes help match your ads to Google searches. Enter the products and services you offer, and we'll show your ads for related searches. Okay. So my keyword theme, they're a lot different, but we're gonna keep in mind for the ones that we had for the diversity and inclusion consulting. So we're gonna do these. So services, assessments, and benchmarking. A keyword theme. health consultant, travel agency, computer consultant, caterer, etc. So you're gonna put in here your specific products and services, okay? And it's gonna have more suggestions. Always take into account the suggestions that it's gonna start giving you. Or for example, if you're in the case of selling for the medical, do you do medical consulting or anything of the type, or what other products you sell? Defibrillators? Portable defibrillator, AED machine, automated external defibrillator, portable. You see where I'm going with this? Keyword themes here.
Yes. Yes.
So diversity and inclusion for the other one. And inclusion training, equality and diversity training, online diversity. Okay, so right here, enter as many as you can that identify directly towards your business. And it's gonna start showing you that potential audience size. As you could see, what we had before of the potential audience size, it was in the millions. Now we have 9,000. This isn't bad. This is actually very good because out of those 11 million people that we had previously, only 9,000 of those were gonna actually be able to see your business. But this way you start with those 9,000 people, and from there, I mean, the smaller this number gets, the more likely they are that they're going to purchase your product. Okay. Think of it like a whole funnel.
Okay.
All right. So let's write the ad. The ad preview. I'm going to go ahead and just take these guys. Now these guys bought this one, so you can't specifically use the same one. But it won't be the same because I put in my name, and you would have put your name on it. Okay.
Okay.
The equity for women, says diversity Workera, because the Google is going to take the most common one and they're going to put your business name. It's going to tell you where they are. Okay, so it's going to diversify you. And 3, we are in Houston. We are in the Imperial Valley. So basically, you just got to put in what's gonna really. This is gonna be like your billboard. Okay.
I see.
Learn the experience you needed with our experienced teacher. This one they generated themselves. You can take the ones, you can make a copy always. But I mean, there's way more ad layouts. You could just basically select. I will use this one that's recommended. Okay. And then click on your ads there. You just put in the website or your YouTube video if you want. Shorten your headline to 30 characters max. Okay.
So when they click on my ad, then it takes them to my website's homepage.
Website homepage or to a YouTube video, whatever link you want.
Whatever it is. Okay. See. Whatever link I put there.
Yep. Same thing. Budget and review. Set the budget for daily. How much you're going to pay total. Enter your own budget and see dollars. Like I said, I always do my target markets are in Mexico, so usually work like that. US dollar. Okay, recommended. It's going to say reach an estimated 11,000 people and get 170 to 300 ad clicks per month. This is an estimate. Okay, but it's really good number. It's going to cost you, for example, depending on everything we put in random stuff. Okay, so it's very broad, but because I put in 2 different industries just for purpose of inclusion of the ad, right? So this number is way more elevated than it should. But let's say this was, okay, let's say this is $850 max, but you're able to get 170 clicks as a minimum. And let's say out of those 170 clicks, we'll do 70. 70 of those clicks actually bought your product and your service. Okay. Let's say your product and your service costs. What's the average price of a consulting or the average price for a defibrillator? They're pretty expensive, I imagine, right? For sake of the exercise, let's say they cost $100. Or let's say $250. Okay. Let's say that's what they cost, $250. So you made $17,500 and it costs you $851 a month. That's where you see and you calculate this before even entering any of that information. If you see that this number is way too low and this is too expensive, go back and edit it. Okay. Same thing over here with the Facebook ad. If you see that that number is not within your budget and it's not what you want to see, change keywords, change, you have to do all the previous research before, but you can always edit it. That's the beauty of making Facebook and Google ads. You can edit them before you launch them and you're able to see an estimate of what the return over your investment is going to be. Okay.
Okay. And so if I got that 170 to 30 ad clicks, that doesn't necessarily mean that they will convert.
Exactly.
And so I
See,
have to.
You have to have everything else in order because, like I said, this is just a channel for you to reach clients. Your sales process needs to be intact. Your website needs to be intact. Everything else has to be intact because when that client comes in the door, it's no longer responsibility of Google or Facebook. It's now your responsibility, you as a business owner. Okay.
Right.
So that's the main key point that I like to have my clients know because they think everything here is magical and it really isn't. It's just another channel. It's another tool. Okay? We're showing you another tool that's going to be way more efficient if you know how to use it. But at the end of the day, it depends on how your business is and how your sales process is and how your entire buyer journey is, if you're going to make that sale or not. And if you're going to have them keep selling to you or not. And all these tools, they can be complemented. It starts with Facebook and Google and your website. Then you can start implementing, once you have all that in order, you can get all this stuff automated as a process. I mean, that's how you really start to grow. You can start investing more and more on this and hire somebody to do this for you. You start your business growing, you can focus on the operation of your business. You can focus on a lot of other things and just have this as another extra sales channel.
If I want to hire someone to do all this stuff for me, all this ad campaigns on social media, how do I call that job? Who am I looking to hire and where do I find them?
Okay. You'd mostly be looking for a digital marketing agency.
Digital marketing agency. Okay.
Digital marketing agency is just make sure they know what they're doing on the part of social media ads. Their services vary from making the content from scratch for your Facebook page and posting every day, etc. But if just specifically the Facebook ads and social media, it's called how to make. They need to have experience in making Facebook ads and Google ads or SEO and SEM.
Okay.
Any other questions? I know we had a few people raise their hands as well.
Yeah. Hey, does this vary? I mean, as far as, for example, right now with, getting ready to, open up the training center again, and then just trying to focus on the operation part of it. I mean, we had 3 locations, 2 of them are closed. One has stayed open through the pandemic. And, it just, I mean, working 12, 14-hour days. And on top of this, trying to focus on marketing, which is something that's, I mean, it's needed. But I mean, is it once you work on it and you have it set where you understand it? I mean, I guess what I'm trying to do is think about is outweighing you invest in your time while you have all this going on here on the side, on the operating side, and then compare to hiring somebody, and then how to measure the success of the marketing campaign that they're having. I mean, I know if you're getting calls, I mean, if it's picking up, then something's happening, something's working. You're not getting calls. Well, how do you measure that, especially right now are people really, I mean, they're financially, have financial burdens, or they're afraid to come to class, or how do you measure that right now?
Okay. For that specific scenario, what I recommend always for a business owner is, like I mentioned earlier, is hiring somebody else to do that for you. Okay. And that person that you hire needs to know how to show you and measure their results. Okay. So you'd say you're paying that person $300 a month or $500 a month or whatever. They need to be able to show you that you are making that correct investment. So how do you measure those type of people? Like, for example, as I'm understanding is that you have a, you do classes that are one-on-one, right?
Right. So we do. So we do on-site. 90% of our business was, and I say was, on-site with our clients. That has changed in the last 2-3 months because of COVID-19. We've done a lot of. We moved a lot to e-learning, but we still have to complete skill sessions. So those skill sessions are done one-on-one. So that requires a lot of hours in investing in doing the one-on-one skills. And whenever we have classes, now we do have classes for the general public. That's our at location because we can control the environment. But going to our clients on site, they're not very at this moment. They're not very open to that. Some are, some not. Once they see our work, they open up more and recommend us. But I mean, it's a very challenging at this time. So we're probably at maybe about 5% of on-site training. Um, we're doing one-on-one. Our public classes are down like 90%. So now one of the things that's happening is because of the side effects or the long-term effects of COVID-19, his heart condition and other issues that have to do with people going into sudden cardiac arrest. The AED sales, I know that's one thing that's probably going to pick up for us because we're getting doctors now that they want to have this because of issues that are being created by this COVID-19.
Okay. And so your question was again, and so your question was is how do you measure those people, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay, let me ask you this then. How do you keep track of all the interactions and everything that you have for a client? Do you use some type of CRM?
Right. Well, I don't use a CRM at this time. Basically what happens is I rely a lot on my calendar on renewals for certification.
Okay.
We have an Excel spreadsheet with all the defibrillators that have been sold to follow up on inspections and expired electropads and batteries. So that's what we use. So we're at Caveman H right now, but we are transferring into CRM with a company. So we're starting to do that. We're going to start doing that.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, I would like to actually set up an appointment with you and be able to answer this question more one-on-one because I feel like I need to have a much more understanding of what your business is to completely answer that question. As of right now, I'm getting the main understanding of what it is, but to give you a much better answer, I would like to schedule an appointment with you. How does that sound?
Sounds good. I'll go ahead and shoot you an email once I get that from you.
Perfect. Yes, because as what I'm hearing right now, it sounds like perhaps having all those interactions and measuring, let's see, before starting the social media processing, before starting all these ads, I have, you need to establish KPIs, key performance indicator, which means I had this month, you probably already have some, which could be monthly sales. They can be new customers, or you also said you have one that you work on a calendar and that you work with customer renewals. So you can measure how many new renewals did I have before starting um, all these campaigns and investing in this type of marketing, and how many do I have afterwards? That number should increase. And if it didn't, it's something else is going on. And that's how you start knowing if you really are having a return over investment of what you're doing. Okay. The best way to keep track of it again is another tool. I usually implement CRMs, which means, okay, I have my leads, I have my prospects. Did I contact them? Yes. Did I send them an email? Yes. Did I reach out to them? Yes. Did they continue from being a prospect to an actual client? Did I make that conversion, etc.? So just following that buyer journey with each one of those clients is the best way to handle that. Okay. Like I said, I'll have my email. Actually, this is pretty much the end of the presentation here. here is my email. Either one of them this is the email for the center, like our basic email, and this is my personal email, and this is our website to schedule anything. But you can always just send me an email and we can schedule something and start working directly. Okay? Because both of these business sound really exciting, and I'd be more than happy to help you guys out in any way that I can. Okay?
Thank you.
No problem. Anybody else have any other questions?
No, so we go to the website to schedule the appointment, or we email you? I'm sorry, I missed that.
You can go ahead and email me.
Okay.
Yeah, because with the website, you're gonna be sent to this email,
Mhm.
and you're gonna it'll take a few days before they send them to me. So if you could just send it to me directly, since you're already registered, there should be no problem. We just set up something.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very
Anybody
much.
else have any other questions? Julieta, I know you couldn't see my screen earlier. Are you able to see it now?
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Okay, awesome. Perfect. So let's see who else has questions. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you once again for being part of this training, and be sure to keep checking your emails. Once right now you register for this trainings, you're going to be receiving some more emails for more trainings. Right now at 4, we're going to have another training with the city of not a training, but a webinar with the city of Imperial. That will be going to sharing a lot of different tips and how to adapt to the new normal of reopening and everything with the whole COVID situation. So be sure to do that as well. And like I said, feel
What's
free
your
to
name
email me. My name is Martin Calderon.
Martin Calderon.
Okay,
thank you.
no problem. So anything else? Just and if you would like also any other tips, this webinar is recorded, and it's gonna be ready probably tomorrow. If you want, I can send them out the recording of the webinar, and you guys can always go back and jump into the webinar when you guys need to. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, guys. So have a great rest of your day. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Martin.
You're
Thanks.
welcome. Bye bye.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank
You
you.
too.